Make sure I'm not too fucking loud here. Oh, yeah. Test. Fuck. So, I have a big gripe with video game and movie box art. That is the DVD case, the posters, the shit you see on Netflix, all of it. I got a problem with all that shit. And you want to know why? They're all exactly the fucking same. They're boring. They're unenticing. They are all just fucking people standing and shit. And we're about to go into that right fucking now. So box art is, as far as I'm concerned, very important. And the reason why is sometimes that's the first thing you see before you watch a movie. Whether you go into your local Best Buy and you happen to see the 4K Blu-ray sitting there and you look at the box art, or if you're scrolling through Netflix and you happen to see one of those poster splashes that are up, or if you're going to go watch a movie and you're at the movie theaters and you see a poster for it. All of that is really important because most of the time that is the first thing you see before you actually go and sit down and watch the movie. And if you happen to buy physical copies of DVDs or 4Ks or Blu-rays or anything, that is what is going to represent that film on your shelf forever. Either way, I feel like box art is very important and it needs to convey the film or the game's journey in a single moment. And that can be very hard, and I feel like box art thus far has only failed us. So firstly, if I just do a really quick Google search here of video game box art, you'll notice that all of this box art looks exactly the fucking same. So our main character is standing in some sort of cool guy or cool girl pose with some sort of plug-in environment behind them, or their enemies behind them, or they're just kind of standing there in oblivion in the middle of fucking nowhere. And they're usually medium to long shots. Sometimes you get the occasional close-up. But that's it. That's pretty much most fucking box art for video games right now. And they're just boring. They're all the same. Most of the time, it's just a cookie cutter cutout of either a CGI rendering of the main character or villain, or it's just an actual cutout of the playable character or the CG model from in-game on your cover. Like, that's most of what we get now. For example, I love fucking BioShock. Look at this. It's just a Big Daddy standing there. Or look at Dark Souls, a game I don't care about. It's just your playable character standing there. Or Days Gone. It's your dude with a motorcycle and zombies behind him. And let's look at some good examples that I believe box art should look like. Exhibit A, Dead Rising. Now, yes, it is the main character, and it is also what you would call the enemies, or the bad guys, or the antagonists, whatever you want to call them, the zombies surrounding him. But this cover does a really good job for a couple of specific reasons, and I'm going to go into them right now. This cover shows us several things about the game. First off, obviously, the character you play as, Frank West. It has a huge amount of zombies on the cover, and the reason why that's a big addition to this box cover is because at the time this game because at the time that this game came out, it was proudly announcing that it was able to get a shit ton of zombies on screen at the same time. And it did. It did a really good job, especially for being an early Xbox 360 game. It got a bunch of zombies on screen at once. And that's a part of what this box is representing. 2, you can almost use everything in the game as a weapon. So if you've ever played this game before, you know that you can pick up anything from fucking CDs to baseball bats. You can club people with them. You can pick up swords. There's Uzis. There's a shit ton of weapons in this game. Almost anything you see in the mall, you can pick up and use, including clothes hangers. So if you notice, he's using a television, basically showing you that you can use almost anything in the world as a weapon. Thirdly, he's not just standing there with the TV and there's zombies around him, like let's say Days Gone, where he's just sitting next to a bike. He is in the middle of the action. He is currently beating the shit out of fucking zombies with a television. You are immediately, before you even see the disc, before you put the disc into the Xbox, you can see the action on the fucking cover. That is very important because by looking at the cover, you immediately feel the thrill of beating the shit out of a billion zombies. And that's extremely important. That's something that a lot of covers don't emphasize. There's no action happening. It's a video game. It is the only medium where you can actually interact in real time with the character you're playing as and the characters you're fighting or talking or whatever the case is. But the covers don't emphasize that. This cover greatly emphasizes that because you immediately get the thrill of beating zombies to death, and that's exactly what I want this game for. So if the cover is going to show me that, I'm going to want to buy this cover. All right, Exhibit 2, Bully. This game is really good. And yes, it does follow the whole, there's your antagonist, there's your protagonist. The difference is, though, they frame it in such a way that you can see the tension between these two characters. That's exactly what the cover was for the Scholarship Edition. It's one of those things where you can see the tension. Again, action. They're not beating each other up here, because you can't do that. You can't do that in the game. But you see the tension, so you're immediately interested. The original cover for this game was just the Bulworth Academy emblem, like the logo they wear on their shirts. That is perfect. It looks, because it almost looks like it's like the booklet, or like the, what is it called? Is it almost, did you get planners in school? I got planners in school, and that's almost what that looked like. It's like you're getting the actual like planner as the game cover. Like, it's really good. It's really well done. I really like it because it's simple. It gets the point across. Both of these covers are really good. All right, and then our last exhibit for the really good video game covers is going to be the GTA series, because everyone knows these series. They're super famous. You either know them from playing through all the games, or you're getting news reports that this next GTA game is going to, turn our kids into mass murderers. Whatever the case is, you know these screens. Most parents can see one of these, and without even having to read the text, which is most of the page anyway, they know exactly what it is. They know what it's going to be. Fun fact, the top left is always a helicopter. But they also show the protagonist. Sometimes they show the antagonist. You get to see kind of what you're going to be doing in the game, whether it's, again, a helicopter, or, ski-doos, or whatever the cars are, or for GTA 5, you get to see the dog. Like, they show you a lot, again, action. They show you what you're going to be doing in the game right on the cover. It's perfect, and they've been doing it since Grand Theft Auto 3, and I have no complaints. It's been good since then, and they're going to keep doing it whenever the fuck GTA 6 comes out in, 2100. All right, now let's shift gears from video games over to movie covers. Now, these have pretty much the same problems, usually just your main character, your protagonist, or your antagonist in the middle of the screen, surrounded by other characters, or they're just in kind of a white blanket of nothing, or they have a plug-in environment around them. Another fun variety of these movie covers is you get faces with text on them. That's very popular. I think it was more popular in the mid 2010s, but it's still kind of around. You still see them. Especially you get Matt Damon with his face just plastered text all over it. I don't know why these got really popular. They're really fucking boring and bland. It's always just the main character and then the movie's names, or whatever the fuck. The thing with movies is it's much harder to deviate from this, because most of the time the movie's selling point is a specific actor or actress, and they're going to want to showcase that they got that actor or actress. Sometimes a lot of people are going to a movie simply for the actor or actress, and that is really hard to dodge, because if that's the selling point of your movie, they're not going to not include that. So, unfortunately, a good amount of the movies that I can represent here are either alternate covers, or they're movies that don't have what you would call a big star name in them. So they're just gonna have whatever cover, because at that time they didn't have a specific star or anything, so they could just kind of do whatever they wanted with the cover, which is really unfortunate, because again, these covers suck ass. For example, you get 21 Bridges, Salt, Thor. It's just text on faces. We also have this really fun one where, if you ever watch that movie Snitch or Shot Caller, it's directed and I believe written by the same guy. He literally just took the body of The Rock and then put the main character for Shot Caller on it. So then you get this fun mess where I guess they called him out for it, but I don't know if there's any legality to it, because I don't know if... Do you own the likeness of your own body in a shirt if you can't tell it's your body? I don't really know if there's anything legal with this. I just think it was really funny how he just literally used the same shot and just changed the head. You can't get more. All of the covers are the same of a dude standing there like this. All right, so we do have a few good examples of movie covers I think did it right. Our first example is Moonlight, and I know you're gonna go, well, it's just a close-up of the face you're talking about. No, it's different. This uses it very well in a strategic manner. This movie has 3 different sections. It's split into thirds. It's this main character when he's young, when he's in his teenage years, and when he's an adult. So you know what this what this cover does? It shows him split into these 3 segments. And it does so fucking beautifully. This is one of those cases where I think a medium close-up of his head is perfect because it shows him in his 3 stages. This cover is the perfect use of that like medium close-up portrait shot. Also, the movie's really good. If you haven't seen this movie, please go see it. It's very good. Also, fuck La La Land. Our second example is District 9. Now, this movie unfortunately falls into that weird category I was talking about before, where as good as the actors are in it, I don't think it ever had someone you would consider like the star power of the film. I honestly wouldn't be surprised, let's say if Matt Damon was in this film, Elysium, that they would just use him on the cover. So that's why it kind of used this really cool box art where it's like the alien ship above the alien favela and it's got the sign that says no humans allowed. Like, it's a really well done box art. It gives you like a perfect idea of this like eerie landscape that this film takes place in. And then the steel box of it is also really good. It's just the District 9, it's District 9 and then it says no humans allowed. It's just that sign as a steelbook. Like, it's perfect. It's so tasty. Example trace is going to be 28 Days Later. This is really good because it's Cillian Murphy. I'm so sorry. I love you. I don't know how to pronounce your name right. You're really good in Peaky Blinders. Anyway, it's Cillian, Mr. Murphy. It's his character, splayed almost the same size as Big Ben's tower, and I believe that's also the fortress towards the end of the film. I don't know how long I've been out of focus. I'm so sorry. You got the 28 Days Later on top of the, pandemic sign, and then you've got like terrifying eyes just like looking down on his silhouette. And the nice part is it's not just like a picture of him walking down the street or anything. It's like an artistic rendition with the silhouette of him walking down that empty London street with Big Ben and the fortress that they end up in. And what's nice is they make him the same size as those, because without people, cities are nothing. So he's the same size as them. I don't know if that was the idea going into it, but that's what I really like about this one. I think it was really well done. All right, now I call this section You Fucked Up. These are 2 specific examples of really well done box art that I think that they fucked up by choosing something else. We're going to start off light. Inglourious Bastards. Now, this album cover, I keep saying album cover. Why? So this one right here was the original box art that they used for the movie. It's one of those examples where it's a Tarantino film, so there's 6,000 different types of box art for different places, yada yada. This is the main one. Again, it's Brad Pitt and the main characters walking towards us with other silhouettes of background, and they're in a white, useless abyss. Like, this is stupid. I hate this. This was the special edition box art, which is fucking sick. This is perfect. It kind of showcases everything that happens. You have the Bear Jews bat with all of their names engraved on it, holding a bloody Nazi helmet. It's perfect. It tells you everything that you need to know about this film in one picture. This other one... Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the most disappointing one. This one fucking irks me so hard. So there was a poster for Logan when Logan was coming out. It was this picture. This is a fucking beautifully done piece of art. It's Logan's hand, all old and shit, with his blades out, holding X-23's hand. Now this image is perfect. It shows the size difference between X-23, who's what would be a defenseless girl, and Logan, obviously defending her by having his blades like this. This is perfect. I love this. It perfectly emphasizes this movie. This is the movie cover we got. Logan walking through a fucking desert. You fucked up. You fucked up so fucking hard. This movie has so much emotion behind it. It has X-Men movie upon X-Men movie on its shoulders. You have Logan, this character that we have fallen in love with for literally like a decade. And then you've got X-23, who is basically our new beginning for this franchise. a character that we love so much. There's so much emotion behind this film. And the way that they decide to showcase all this emotion is Wolverine walking through a fucking desert. So apparently, whoever made this fucking box art thought the best way to represent all of this emotion is, oh, let's stick Logan in a fucking desert where only like, I don't know, a eighth of this movie takes place. And now we're into this really weird gambit of steelbooks. So in more recent years, there's been this explosion of steelbooks, probably since, I think like 2010 is when they really start getting popular, but they've kind of been around for a while. So steelbooks have put a kind of a weird wrench into this whole box art thing, because some of the box art for the steelbooks are really cool. For example, I've got a few here I'll show you. A tame one of Saving Private Ryan. It's the original box art for Saving Private Ryan, which is okay. It's not bad. It just kind of fits that generic thing. But it says 200 cartridges of 7.62 ammo. It looks like an ammo can. Like, that's kind of the perfect meld between this classic film, where they kept the classic box art, but then they kind of gave it this like ammo can type of feel. Like, this is the perfect kind of middle ground between the two. Then you got something like Grease, which is just kind of an artist rendition of the original case, and then you got kind of Grease Lightning on the back. This is one of those things where you kind of get the same classic feel of the original box art mixed with kind of a new style. Then we got some really cool ones. So we got the Death Stranding one, which I got with the special edition that came with, the Bridge Baby, BB. This one's cool because it kind of shows him all messed up and all riddled from the, rain and shit like that. And then it just has the Death Stranding logo. Like, this is kind of a nice mix of keeping the character, but also the name. Another really cool one is the Ghost in the Shell one. Like, yes, this is our character. This is one of the most classic animes, I believe. But what's cool is when you kind of take it out of this shell on it, it literally is like you're taking off her shell. So I'll try to see if I can get this to work here without dropping it. So as I pull it out, so like this is her robotic body. Like, this is what she looks like without, the skin, the exoskin. So that's her. But then when you put the shell on, it's, like her humanoid version. So this is one of those really cool ones where without it, it's really cool. Like, I'm not a really big fan of those like outer like plastic coverings, so most of the time they don't add anything. They're just the same shit twice, just like a protective case. But this one's really cool because without it, it looks really sick. But then when you put it on, you can see her like ear and all of her electronics like through the case here. Like, this is one of those really cool, versions where it actually emphasizes it here. But yeah, I really just wish that box art for DVDs and Blu-rays and video games would just get better. Especially because within the last generation of consoles, they've changed the cases. Instead of being those tall ones, now they're kind of the smaller square style. So, I don't know. I feel like there's a bit more you can do with it. Even if you buy like special edition with the steelbooks and stuff. I'm a big fan of steelbooks. Obviously, you just saw my small stack of them here. But I wish they would do more with them, because I feel like the boxing experience is, kind of the first thing you deal with before you actually put the game or the movie into the system. And I feel like if you're about to watch your favorite movie or play your favorite game, it would be really cool to have some sort of actual experience putting it into your system before you actually start the game up and start playing it. Well, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day today to listen to me rant about shit I care more about than you do. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, hit all those fun YouTube buttons if you're feeling it. A subscription, though, I would really appreciate if you're interested in watching more of my stuff. That really helps out a lot. It makes me feel better about getting a film studies degree, knowing that at least someone out there cares to listen to me talk about it. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.